boy, huh? God, he's made you fat.
If you're Filipino, you've probably heard at least one of these comments.
When will Hollywood stop casting Filipinos as every ethnicity but Filipino?
Are Filipinos Asian? Well, Hollywood says no.
If we're Asian, why do we have last names like Santos, Garcia, or Mendoza?
Hold up, pause, wait a minute, okay? So when will Filipinos be casted in Hollywood? When there's more Filipino actors and more Filipino directors casting Filipinos. Are Filipinos Asian? Exactly, yes. We are very much Southeast Asian. And why do Filipinos have Spanish last names? Because we are a Spanish colony. These are simple questions, and I feel it's so contrived that like I find a problem when it comes to this video. But we'll go into it. But first, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch, Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So, current events, reviews, and pop culture within the scope of entertainment, culture, and purpose. So again, like TV movie reviews, I just finished the 100, I need to do a video on that. Social political commentary, got those. Be sure to check out those videos as you are finishing this video. Okay, first I got my Sos Mario Sep shirt on. I got like my lathe of Filipino colors. It is Filipino American History Month. What is up? Okay, cool. So, going into this video, One Down is doing a series of each week talking about Filipino topics, and I kind of want to do my commentary on it. Obviously, first and foremost, like this isn't a critique, more just of commentary. I take issues with some things that they're saying, but for the overall, yes, we should celebrate Filipino History Month. I'm totally down with it. As someone who has an Asian American Studies degree from CSUN, what is up? Obviously, I'm also in the Air Force. That is my career, but I got a degree just to get a degree. So if anyone has some clout to talk about this, if I have to use my degree to talk about something, might as well talk about this, right? Secondly, the host of the show that they're using is Sapphire Sandalo, my homie. So, what up, Sapphire? This is, like, she's my friend. We dance on 2 dance teams, you know, like, this isn't anything bad on her, of course, and obviously, she's my friend. I'm not gonna downgrade my friend, you know? So, obviously, this is more in, like, promoting this video series, but providing some commentary, especially from a conservative perspective. So, disclaimers aside, again, this isn't about like putting them down. This is about uplifting Filipinos, but being a part of the conversation in my own way. So, yes. Alright, so this is a video coming from One Down. Obviously, they're doing a series the whole month of October, again, for Filipino American History Month. And their series is called Breaking the Tabo. Obviously, it's a playing word with breaking the taboo type thing. And then this first episode is Filipinos in Entertainment. And so, we're gonna go into it, talk about it and everything. And so, yeah.
Are Filipinos Asian? Well, Hollywood says no. With a recent boom in Asian-centered stories, Hollywood seems to be letting go of their outdated and, let's be honest, racist portrayals of Asians. Instead of old kung fu masters, we see handsome heirs to multi-billion-dollar empires. Instead of pushover nerds who only speak to give math advice, we see charming, relatable love interests.
So far, we're good.
And instead of
right?
characters defined by their way of speaking English, we see immigrant parents
All
figuring out how to
is
raise a family
part
outside
of the course,
their
right?
homeland. But
We're seeing
wait a
changes.
damn minute. Where are the brown Asians?
And then, obviously, we're
But while
talking about
East Asian stories get to be
brown
rewritten,
Asians, okay.
a whole other half of Asia is being forgotten. Filipinos,
Yes and
alongside
no.
people from other South and Southeast Asian countries, are often asked, are you even Asian? When will Hollywood get a taste of this palabok? Because Filipinos have a lot more than just food to bring to the table. I'm Sapphire Sandalo, and this
What up,
is
Sapphire?
Breaking the Tabo, where we talk real
Again, all of this is
Filipinos
well done,
aren't
right?
the only
So-
community that sees its people overgeneralized in Hollywood stories. From the mammy
So this is where
to the
I
sassy
take
black
issue.
woman
So they're
to
gonna
the
talk
thug.
about Filipinos,
the black
but
community
you're gonna
has
preface
time
with
and time again been shoved
the black-
into narrow boxes
black
that don't
voice.
even begin to capture the range
And,
of existing black experiences.
if you're gonna talk about
One
Filipino
of the most
voices,
popular
go straight and
boxes
talk about Filipino
is the Black
voices.
Best Friend, which serves as Hollywood's backdoor to claiming diversity without actually building fully formed characters, like Chad and Taylor from High School Musical, or Coach and Winston
think
from New Girl.
I take a
reality
problem with this
is
because
that
you can
Chad's
talk about
role
this.
is
You
meant
can
to
talk about
uphold
colorism.
Troy's
You can
story.
talk about
the way they
black
cope
people,
with unfair
whatever. But
circumstances
if you're just gonna
doesn't
talk about
matter.
Filipinos, might as well
So,
just talk
sure,
about the
the
Filipinos
Black
that
Best
have been
Friend
using it, and
increases
they're
the
gonna
number
go
of
into
black
it. But
characters
I just
on
say
screen.
this.
But it's
this
become
whole
one of
point
the only ways
is
black people get
is a little
representation. And black
much.
people
I guess
deserve
I don't know.
to be written
I
with
think
the
they're
same
trying to use the
depth,
Black
range, and
Lives
necessity
Matter
as our
as
favorite white
a
characters.
starting off
And
point,
Filipinos
which I take
deserve
issue.
the
Like,
same
just talk
in
about
the face
Filipinos.
of greater Asian representation. Like Hollywood, if you really want to let go of your racist portrayals of Asians, maybe stop casting Filipinos as every ethnicity but Filipino.
I also take issue with that
to bring it back to High
because
School
there's
Musical,
this idea in
Gabriela
which-
Montez is a Mexican-American character played by Vanessa Hudgens.
So you have this
a
idea in
Filipina
which you can
actress.
insert any
Miranda
other
Sanchez
Asians
and Lizzie
to other
McGuire,
Asians.
Lulu and True
Yes
Jackson
and no.
VP,
I mean,
Blaine Anderson in Glee,
at what point
Nadine in
can-
The Edge of 17.
At what point
all non-Filipino
can-
characters
you have to be
played
like,
by
let's say,
Filipino actors.
a gay
And
male?
this list
Like, do you have
barely
to
scratches
have a gay
the
male
surface.
play a gay male?
People of
Or
color
can you just
aren't
act, you know?
interchangeable. And doing this tells Filipinos that we aren't worth stories of our own. Despite all of the progress,
I understand the point.
Asian
Like,
representation won't be
have
better
Filipinos
until
represent
Hollywood
as Filipinos
normalizes true
versus
authenticity.
a Filipino representing
Filipino
another
actors
culture or
playing
another culture
Filipino
representing a
characters,
Filipino. I get that. I
showcasing
get the
real
point.
Filipino culture. A popular example of great representation would be the CW's
See, they could
Emmy
just
Award-winning
leave.
show
This is
Crazy
where I take issue again.
Ex-Girlfriend.
They should just.
It goes
the writer
beyond
should have
creating
just
Josh
went
Chan,
with this
the first Filipino
instead
lead
of
in an
talking
American
about,
television
instead
show.
of prefacing
While the
with
show wasn't
black,
about the fact
black
that Josh was
experience
Filipino,
in Hollywood.
the showrunners actively honored his ethnicity with every decision they made. Not only is most of Josh's family portrayed by actual Filipino Americans, but Filipino writer Rene Gube was crucial in making sure that all of their references were authentic. When Gube pointed out that the dinuguan for the infamous Thanksgiving episode began to look like carnitas after sitting in the sun all day, the executive producer slowed down production to fix the dish. Whoa, right? Giving Filipinos the kind of quality representation we deserve often comes from behind the camera, by hiring Filipino filmmakers
I
to
like
take
this
on the
point
roles of
as
director,
far as
producer,
Filipinos
writer, and more.
becoming
Lingua
involved.
Franca
And I'll talk
follows
about
the
that
story
in-
of an
in more of the
undocumented
commentary.
Filipina trans woman who needs to secure a green card to stay in America. Yellow Rose tells a different story, one of a Filipina who pursues her country music dreams while dealing with the deportation of her undocumented mother. Bobby Rubio's Float premieres Disney's first Filipino-American character and is a love letter to Rubio's son, who is on the autism spectrum. Filipinos have a diverse culture and history. The fact that we have similarities to other cultures, as well as differences unique to us, allow our stories to feel familiar to other communities, yet new at the same time. So, who's finally gonna make a medical drama with a realistic representation of Filipino nurses? Let's see a family live in a house with more than 2 generations in it. And I'm tired of friends in sitcoms not giving each other pasalubong when they come back from vacations. Filipino representation in Hollywood is a two-way street. It requires more Filipinos having the opportunity
all this part is
to
good,
act,
right?
produce,
I'm
or
totally
direct
for
for the
this,
big
right?
screen, to be in the writer's room, to pitch our stories and have them greenlit. But most importantly, it also means that us Filipinos at home show up. We need to start paying attention to the successes we already have. Manny Jacinto in The Good Place, Sari Arambulo in AP Bio, Eugene Cordero in Tacoma FD, Nico Santos in Superstore, because that's how we get Hollywood to listen. Watch the new shows
I mean,
by
they could have went
Filipinos
with
when they
Dave
release.
Bautista, but
Show
okay.
your support for Filipinos in Hollywood and keep the conversation going. Hollywood is like Halo Halo. It's a mix of diverse stories and people, and it won't be long till Filipinos are part of that too.
Obviously, you can play the rest of the video because I do like some shout outs and all that stuff. So be sure to check out that video. I'll link it below and everything. And obviously, we're going to continue the discussion. So yeah. Alright, so talking about more of this video. Again, there was a point where I said I was going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it now. So which is, as far as Filipinos inherently are conservative, at least in my perspective, right? And so we tend to go for STEM fields, math, science, engineering, right? As well as military, nursing, and all that stuff. And so we want to find, and through our parents, you know, they encourage us to do jobs that are financially secure, right? Which makes sense. Obviously, we want a better life for ourselves, and so that's why not only just Filipinos, Asian Americans tend to go for those fields. Now, when it comes to like Hollywood and acting and all that stuff, not less Filipinos go for that, right? But obviously there are people who really want to be in that realm, which is great. But that's the thing, like I guess I don't know how to live your life, because obviously I'm on YouTube, right? But obviously I have a career, right? This is secondary, and then my career, my military life is what pays the bills, right? I'm not being paid on YouTube as of yet for all of this, and if I am, it's a secondary income. So when it comes to like Alex Wasabi, like you have people who are on YouTube that's going into acting, and that's where I'm trying to get at. So there are Filipinos who are behind the scenes, behind the camera, and now it is a matter of getting Filipinos in front of the camera, as well as being directors and writers, right? And then one thing I want to stress is that with the advent of YouTube, we don't have to go to the traditional routes, right? We can support each other. We can support each other's short films and TV sketches and comedy and whatever drama that we want to be on YouTube, right? There's a whole avenue in which we can do this outside of traditional Hollywood, Wong Fu Productions and everything, and even possibly One Down, if they're gonna sponsor like actual TV movie scripts, I think that's down. I think that's totally something cool that we can do outside of the traditional form, right? And so there's this, I like that idea in which, again, so again, trying to stress that point, when are we going to see more Filipinos in Hollywood? Well, when there's more Filipinos actually in doing Hollywood stuff. But that's the thing, like, again, there's a lot of us who has more conservative voices, right? Well, and that's the thing, like, we had to kind of like somewhat encourage, but also like, okay, so final point, again, I thought this video was really cool and it's a good topic to talk about and everything. And so one last point I'm gonna throw in is like someone like in Marvel and the MCU, there's an actual character, I don't know if you know, but there's actually a Filipino superhero, Wave, who has like water-based powers. She's from Cebu. What up, Cebuanos? And so there's an idea in which we can elaborate on that. There's an idea in which if you're watching this, if you're an actor and if you're an actress, an aspiring actress, if you want to develop fan fiction, there's actually good fan fiction on YouTube, right? There's like that Power Rangers one. I know Anna Kana had like a short series about a Jedi. So we're in this era in which we can actually make good fan fiction on YouTube, and then that could spearhead it to actually an actual TV show, movie in the future. If there's good traction with this, if there's a market with this, and this is what it comes down to. If there is money involved, Hollywood revolves around money, right? And that's how you vote in Hollywood, is with your dollars. And so if we do this, and this is why, like, if you want to do content with like Wave or whatever, and so if you want to do this, and if you want Hollywood to pay more attention to Filipinos, we gotta be in this. There should be more Filipino YouTubers, You can definitely still be a nurse, and that's kind of funny. Like Joe Coy has that skit where there's a Filipino dancer nurse, and like being a dancer was always my dream, And so that was a good sketch. But like I said, you can go and be in YouTube, right? I'm just talking to you in front of my camera that I bought from Best Buy. It's not like a huge deal, right? So you can talk on YouTube, right? At the very least, if you want to do your skits, which I would love to do, but I just never got around doing it. And so, yeah, my point is, in order to be in Hollywood, we gotta be marketable. There has to be a market for Filipinos to watch this. As much as Tyler Perry caters to, it's not just a black community, but it is for the black community, right? And so there should be a good, and Filipinos are gonna very much crowd for my, like, oh, look at my anak, look at my nephew, and so we would definitely support each other if there was a reason to support each other. So again, this was less, I have issues with the story points or the writing of this particular video, not overall, but again, this isn't anything to downgrade, right? This is about uplifting Filipinos. I'm totally for that. But I guess take issue is as far as how they get to that end result. And so hopefully that's something to learn too, because yeah, with the climate and the atmosphere, I think we can still we have different views on certain things. I'm gonna be as vague as possible, but I think we can still come together, especially if we're supporting each other and supporting Filipino American values. So yeah, I'll leave that to that, and you can read between the lines. So thank you for watching. You can follow me at my Instagram at HeyMitchMitch. You can follow me at my joint Instagram at It's Mandatory Fun, where I do other videos with my friend Jen, who is also Filipino. I'm also on Parlor, Maverick Mitch. And then thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.